Okay guys, back with another video. Please excuse my voice. I'm still recovering from, I don't even know what it is, but I'm recovering from it, whatever it is. So we're working back, as you can see, on the Glock 19. Now, the last time you saw this, I just fitted the stainless steel sliding outer barrel. There were a couple of bits and pieces I really wanted to sort, one being the recoil guide rod and recoil spring, and also I needed to sort out the front chassis, so we had some steel to run against the new slide. Now, I went on to Rainbow 8, which is where I get all my parts from, and I was looking through parts and I saw a few bits and I thought, they look really good. However, I'll go down a different route with my current Glock 19. So, what do? Well, as you can see here, here is the 19 that you've seen so far, with the stainless steel slide fitted. I've also fitted a torch on the front here. Love this so far. We're going to be doing some more work on this. However, what I went and did, I bought another 19. Now this one is stock, bone stock. And the reason why I got this was that the bits and pieces I saw were very appealing and interesting. As you know, I tend to prefer to go down the realism route and try to go for sort of steel components to try and make it look and feel like the real thing. So I intended to just get one to just keep stock and mess around with and do, you know, just some general blasting with it. And it also then gives me a frame of reference, so I can say, you know, I've done this, 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 and this to the other one, and it compares like this to this one. However, I'm not very good at leaving things stock, am I? So while I was ordering parts for the other one, I did order something, and it is this. It is the CNC slide for G19 Gen 3, but it is the lightweight 68 grams. Now, I believe the original slide, from what I've read, is 45 grams. So, this is not far off. There it is, in lovely bronze. Isn't that going to look great on there? It's not far off the stock weight of the factory slide. So, what I thought I'd then do is, why don't I try and make it as light as I can? So what I went and did, I went and bought the lightweight aluminium housing as well. And this is 19.2 grams, whereas the factory one is quite a bit heavier than that. So I think with the extra weight of this and the reduced weight of this, I'm going to be able to keep the overall slide weight the same. I think that's the plan. Basically, I want this Glock 19 to run just like it does now, but have a metal slide. That's what I want. I haven't gone for changing the outer barrel. I think I'm going to stick with the plastic one for now, which could be a mistake. I could end up having issues by doing that, but we're going to give it a go, see what happens. If I need to order a barrel, then I do. The only thing is they only do the steel barrel, and that's going to add a lot more weight to it. And I kind of want to keep it as snappy as I can. So that's why I haven't gone down that route. So today, we're going to be installing this bad boy and this into this. Before we get started though, I've got some scales. I'm going to weigh everything so I can see exactly what I'm working with and how much weight I'm adding or removing. So I'll get all this unpacked, I'll get ourselves all set up, and I'll continue the video from there. Guys, so I've got the upper removed from the 19. I've got my scales here, so let's zero that off. Now this is the complete upper, sights outer barrel, inner barrel hop unit, recoil guide rod, blowback unit, nozzle, everything. So I'm going to weigh this and see what we get. So 168.69 grams. So let's call it 168.7 then. Now, ideally, I want to get the alloy slide that I've got here to the same weight as this slide, assembled as it is at the moment. I want to get as close to that as I can so we keep that real Marui snap you get. So what we'll do then is we'll start stripping this apart, transfer all the parts over into this one, and then we'll weigh it up and see what we get from there. Okay, so first things first, then we're going to remove our recoil spring. Now, I aim to keep this recoil spring because, again, this works perfectly for the plastic slide, and I want it to work in conjunction with the alloy slide, but obviously I want it to retain the same kind of weight and be just as snappy. So we're going to not mess around with this, going to leave it as is. Again, outer barrel, I really do want to stick with the outer barrel as is. The only thing I can see we're going to have problems with are these plastic lugs on the side here. They're probably not going to last very long in the alloy slide. So these have got holes in, so I could insert some kind of steel insert in here to try and, you know, make it last. Or what's more likely is I'm probably just going to go down the route of having a steel outer barrel for it. But, you know, we'll see. Nearer the time, we'll figure that out. Anyway, so here's our empty slide. So we want to remove some parts here. Now, one thing that I will say, I'm not sure what I need to do with yet, is this piece at the front. Now, if we look at the garter slide, it doesn't have that piece in there. Now, I'm pretty certain that I'm going to need to liberate that and fit that into this, because without that, I can't see this working. However, this slide, this guide here, which is for the outer barrel, ceases just here, whereas on this one it continues all the way down. So I don't know if I'm going to have to modify this or not. You know, it could be that this is just going to sit in here no problem and just do its thing, which looks like that could be the case. But it's not going to sit as well as it does in this one because it has that kind of recess and locks in place. So really, I want to probably use this if possible. Now, I think it is metal. I don't think it is plastic, so we should be able to prise that out and potentially fit it into our new slide. But I am going to just have a quick look on Rainbow 8 and see. Sometimes they include some instructions which will give us some guidance on what to do with it. So I'm going to go check that out first. Okay, so having a look into it, it appears that it shows both slides side by side, and this is how it should be without this extra insert. So I'm surprised by that. I'm probably going to put it together and see how it goes. I might try to get this piece out though and see if I can do anything with it, because I'd like to retain that if possible, because there is a degree of short stroke here as well, plus these little lumps here act as stoppers and stop against the frame here. Otherwise, this slide is just going to travel all the way back and potentially, you know, end up causing damage. So I don't know yet. We're going to figure it out as we go. So anyway, first things first, we need to get the blowback unit out. We can see our nozzle is all working well there, so that's all good. So we're going to remove that. We've got our nozzle spring, rear sight, and we're going to take our front sight out as well. And again, this is going to be a pretty quick turnaround here. It's not going to be a particularly long process. So let's just weigh our empty slides now. That's worth bearing in mind that the Marui does have this metal insert here for the slide stop, and there's this metal insert at the front. Get this open. Okay. Let's just zero it anyway. So our TM slide is, okay, so it's 39.2 grams. So that's less than I was initially told. This one is 65. So we are a little over. However, we are obviously going to be fitting our lightweight blowback unit. So if I remove the nozzle from our blowback unit, you have to give that clean because it's covered in grease. Remove the piston head because that is not going in. That, I believe, I have a replacement for in the other one. So let's just weigh that and see what that weighs. So we've got 50.18 grams there. Okay. Now I know this is a lot lighter. So there's our blowback unit. You see we've got 19 grams there. And then we'll just use that back piece and our screw. Okay, 20 grams. So 20 grams. Yeah, so we'll call it 21 grams. Plus 65. Yeah, 65.5. So 85 grams all in on that one. Versus 89 grams on that one. So we are going to be lighter with the metal slide, which is exactly what I was hoping for. So that'll be really good. Worth bearing in mind that this is probably going to need a little bit of fitting and fettling. Again, it's got this really chalky coating on, which guard I like to put on these parts. It doesn't do great with moving parts, so I think we're going to have to do a little bit of work on that to make that work. But that is a big bonus. That was really what I was hoping for we were going to end up with. So that is really good. So, yeah, we're going to get some of this apart and swap it all over. So, okay, so I've just removed the little plastic insert that was in the back of this, which I did weigh it with that in. So, but it is a tiny piece of plastic here. It's just basically your nozzle guide. Our little piece goes on the back. That's good. And then we've got our new nozzle return spring there. Okay, we're going to fit that inside our slide. Before I do that, actually, I do want to remove the extractor here. There we go. I'll slide that in. There we go. That's all the way in and no damage. Okay, so we'll install our blowback unit. That's actually gone in surprisingly easily, actually. So we'll put our rear sight in position and our screw. I'm going to fit our front sight. And put the screw in. And there we have our upper. That's our slide sorted. So let's just confirm our weights now. So I'll just get these out. I'm just going to quickly check over against my notes and then we'll test this. Okay, so I've just checked my notes. The completed upper was 168.69. So I'm going to reinstall this and our guide rod. So let's zero that. So 168.69, 167. So we are a gram under what the factory TM slide was. So this should be just as, if not more, snappy than it was before. And that is a result. So really, really pleased with that. So we can go from the really snappy plastic slide to going for a metal slide now and being just as snappy, hopefully. Now, concerns I have, this is a bit on the wobbly side. And I don't know exactly what's going to happen to these front rails here because on the factory slide we have that stopper. All right, well, let's just try it out. So, fingers crossed it will go on okay. It has. Now that's quite gritty, as you can hear. And that will be either the rails and the slide, which is more likely, or the hammer unit on the blowback unit. And it could even be the outer barrel on the inside of the frame, inside the slide. There's some wear on here. It appears to be on the inside of the slide. Yeah, you can see there's some dark marks on the inside of the slide here. So we're just going to oil that up. Bit of oil. And possibly just a little bit in the rails for the barrel as well. And notice we've got some marking on the underside here as well. So I'm going to want to put some on there. And this is that chalky coating I was talking about that Garda use. It's quite aggressive and it can cause issues. It has to break in. So that's a bit better. Sticking a little bit. And with a lot of this stuff, you have to do a break-in where you'll do lots of hand cycles. It's already cycling a lot better. Okay. Right, let's try it. Yeah, that cycles well. The outer barrel doesn't seem to come all the way to the top like it did on the plastic slide, which is a little disappointing. I really like that about the plastic slide. It's sitting just a bit low. I wouldn't have said it has the same snap as the plastic slide, but it is definitely, you can feel it's definitely really gritty, so it definitely needs some breaking in. Let's just pull it apart and see what we've got. So straight away we can see there is shiny appearing on the tops of these, also on the back of these here, a little bit on the top of these surfaces as well. So this is quite typical of these, and you can see here we've got some shiny in it, some sort of silver appearing there, and that is actually wear off of the Marui itself because it is gold underneath there. So yeah, it's going to be breaking in basically. Yeah, it's starting to wear the inside slightly. At the end of the day, it's necessary to get what we want. So basically what we're going to have to do, and I'm not going to film it because there's no point, we're just going to be hand cycling for a while here, just getting it running a bit smoother. So you'll need like a few hundred hand cycles to sort of get it operating a bit smoother and bedding in. So that's what we'll do. So I'll report back another time. We'll call the video for that there as a bit of a success, because obviously we've got the Glock 19 with actually a lighter slide than it originally had with the plastic slide, which is a result as far as I'm concerned. We've got less weight and hopefully just as much gas efficiency, and it looks quite cool as well. So let me know what you think in the comments, guys. If you have any questions about what I've done so far, or where I got the parts from, or anything you'd like me to see me do with this, let me know in the comments, and we'll continue next time. Like, subscribe, comment away, and I'll see you guys in the next one.